Yeah, oh, Prof here with Miss Paisley Marie. Miss Paisley. Yeah, look, she's got spots, and she's got tiger stripes. Yeah, Paisley. Right? Yep. You gonna show them your stripers? No. Maybe? Oh, maybe. You gonna show everybody your stripes? There you go. There you go. Good job, Pace. That is exactly where I was going to work, though. So we're gonna do the unboxing. She's like, I know. That's why I sat here. Miss Paisley. What you doing there, huh? Yeah, we'll be sitting down a little bit. Come on. Come here. Hey, you. Hey, what are you doing? I need to be right there. Right there. Yep. Name that manufacturer. As I fart a little bit. You can't touch the keyboard, Pace. No. Yeah. We're definitely not illegally downloading something right now. Well, I mean, I bought it legally. They're just not supposed to retain it, supposedly. But I mean, if it gets on my computer, it stays on my computer? It's like a virus, but it benefits me. Teehee. Alright, so if you guys can name who now ships... Ooh, this needs a new blade. Do you see how it's skipped? How does that... How do you know it needs a new blade? Well, let's go to the copper one here. No skipping. Alright, so now you might have a little bit more hint at which brand this is from. I mean, there's generally only like 3 or 4 I buy. Yeah. Orange knife needs a new blade. You can see how easily that cut through. Ooh, plain black tactile turn. TT. We got a postcard for Tactile Knife Co. And a tactile turn sticker. I got far too many of those. That's the pile. So here. I don't have any of those. Those are all their very, very high-end ones. Talk about the knives from Tactile Knife Co. Yeah. Those are all their newer, higher end ones. Now we can flip over to this side. Let's see here. Thick boy. Bolt. I don't have that version. I have the dual, like the original thick titanium, which is like the dual ano thick and bright. Burr, 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 burr. Yeah, no, both those are pencils. I have no pencils. Then all these are really fancy ones, and they're really fancy flashlights. I was actually considering one of the really fancy flashlights, but Oof, ouch. Alright, so this one's a bit more expensive than their normal batch. It is the first round of them. Sorry, the AC just kicked on. We are having one of the warmest weeks this season, right at the end of summer-ish. And it's August. August is one of the hottest months, but not usually the end of August. So what do we have here? We have the, I think it's the, instead of the side click, it's the switch click? Not the switch, I believe switch click is the correct one. Sold out, so I'm glad I got one, because this first batch was going to be limited. They said they will make more, but they may not make any more like this one. I thought it was called the switch click, not just the switch. Maybe I'm wrong, but they actually purchased this design from another creator. And the reason why it's only available in one size. That one size is the small or the short variant. Here is my dual ano bolt. So the reason why they only have it in the short variant is because due to this extra length of this mechanism, unlike the side click, which takes up actually a little bit less room than a bolt, the switch click mechanism, this tapered clip, I'm not sure, it looks to be the same tapered clip, but they might have changed the dimensions slightly. Apparently it's only like a quarter of an inch shorter, or a little bit over a quarter of an inch shorter than this is the full size, full length, standard length slim bolt, which is the dual ano slim bolt. I can get the dual ano thick, it's dual X-tone thick with triple C's. There's go. There you go. Dual X-tone thick with triple C's. So basically the reverse of the dual ano. Full length. I got one of my 1.0 crayon refills in here. It's just the Uniball 1.0. Probably do, I don't know if a SARS or clip would work, but yeah, so here's the thing though. This takes the Parker G2 refill. So that's the standard Parker refill. It'd be the same one that I generally don't like using. That the LTT pen, the scribe driver, which you wanted to call the write-off. They thought of it, somebody can comment a little later. So this is actually not a Parker one, this is an Oto Gel 0.5. That's probably what'll go in here, but supposedly you can just chop down a Uniball to fit. Or actually they said a G2, but if they can chop down a Uniball to fit, I can chop down a Uniball. Or if they can chop down a G2 to fit, I can chop down a Uniball. And as for shortness, like why, so like that's the reasoning for not going with a G2 is because it's already almost as long as a standard length pen. With the shorter refill. So for example, where are you? know you have too many pens when you can't find the pen you need. What is going on, Pace? You're being a lunatic. Yeah. There it is. Alright. So, for example, here is a smooth operator, which is the shortest version of a Parker G2 pen that they have made. And that's with a bolt. Here is the standard, that's the smooth operator. Here's the standard smooth operator Gen 2. If you look, it's quite a bit longer, right? But this does use a Uniball. It can use Parker by just flipping the bolt over. So if you notice, it's also, in order to accommodate the bolt and the flipping of the bolt mechanism, Smooth Operator Gen 2 is slightly longer than the standard bolt. And that comes down to, like, instead of screwing off down here, they screw off down there, so you can put different barrels on. I did buy a shorter one so that I could use a Parker refill with it and get back to the standard smooth operator size. I got it in the standard color though. Didn't really vibe how it looks. Once they go to knurled, I might do something like that. I don't know. Like, I can understand why they did this. It really likes to unscrew. I even added some wax to it, and it's because you got more leverage up here where compared to way down at the tip. But they do that so that they can change the length by just changing the tip out. I think this is actually a more pinpointed product, but it had its issues with the Ultim bolt, screwing a metal bolt into it. They didn't do the similar thing to Keras, who they insert the metal bolt into the Delrin bolt there, but then they screw in from the bottom actually. So the metal is never screwing straight into the plastic. I do think that this, as an EDC pen though, is a much better EDC pen than this. Though supposedly with the right parts, you can get this down to that size, yeah, or even smaller. I do like the nitrided parts. They even sent me a new nitrided clip after my clip came messed up. There was like a blemish in it before it got nitrided, and that carried through. So I did get mine engraved, the TheProfosist. Normally I get my first versions of all of these engraved. My smooth operator was supposed to be, but they messed up a number of times. But if we go with the slim bolt, which is also engraved TheProfosist, and I went with the Damascus bolt there. You know, that's the older clip style, right? Very, very similar. So what I'm kind of interested in is how much do I have to cut down a Uniball refill in order to fit it in here like they say. Also, what spring did they use? Holy jeez, that's in there tight. It's chewing up my fingers. That's for sure. Oh, okay, so they used the Parker spring. Probably because it's supposed to use a Parker refill. It's a long boy spring. So let's see. if we can even chop down a Uniball refill enough. It's got a G2 spring in there because if you have a slim, you should always swap it to a G2 spring. Whew. Who wants me to try? For example, it's got to go right there. Now, theoretically, I can cut it down that far because this is where the air needs to be, is right there. So I should be able to cut it up there without any issue. Maybe I'll measure it and mark it out and give it a shot. Last time I cut these, I actually used my, I have like a tubing cutter, like a, for plastic tubing, like hard and soft. I use it for soft tubing when I do my, water cooling. And, worked great. So, I'm kind of interested in so it's actually right above where the writing stops. So you can see that? The writing stops right there. So right on the other side of that. So I'm not going to chop this one because this is for the slim bolt there. I want to get a freshie if we're going to try this. Or when I knew it was bad, that would also work. But then sometimes those air bubbles are a bit messed up. So I'm going to go and grab that and give it a shot. I'll get back with you. Alright, just to show here. Almost on the first try. I purposely went a little bit long. But yeah, it works perfectly fine. I swapped it to a G2 spring. Might not locked down as well, but that's probably because it's overextending, because we got a little bit of, you know, another millimeter or two off there, and I think we'll be good. Alright, so this is probably 1 to 2 millimeters better if you used a G2, not a Uniball. Look at that fitment though, right there. And we got proper full extension on the mechanism, because like before, when it was that little bit long, if you're wondering how much I had to cut off, there you go. There's a big slice, a little slice because it didn't cut evenly, and then there's a little nibble. If you see that last little bit that it missed, I had to nibble that off as well. Beautiful. Probably new EDC, to be truthful, especially because it's got my favorite refill in there. And kind of like what I showed you here is, if you cut, this is what I had originally marked. You want to cut not on the right side, like the long side of it. You want to cut on the short side. So it's basically right at the end of that embossed marking of the refill. Now this refill is partially used. I think this is like probably number 2 or 3 that have been in this one. I think this pen might have been repaired once as well. Oh yeah, no, this would not have been the original refill. Because I did not realize that these could take full-size Uniball without modification in the slim side click, which is also what's in the Duelano here, which is what makes them super nice. Throw a G2 spring in there, even if you don't get the, like the new side click or switch click. Sorry. Oh, that's so satisfying now that it's properly fully extending and fully, you know, you have to click and unclick it. So this has a full-size Uniball in it. But change, whether you have a side click or a slim bolt, like a slim side click or a slim bolt, switch it to a G2 spring from what's Tactile turn normally ships. You'll thank yourself. They're just way easier to use, way nicer to use. You cannot do that on the full-size version. I don't know what mechanically goes on that causes you not to be able to do that on the full-size version, but you just can't. The mechanism will not work. So I need to pick up a little bit here. The other Uniball refill is actually for the blue-black the blue-black bolt. The black-blue? I think this is technically black-blue. Black-blue Ultim G2 bolt. I don't know, I might actually just put because I have a whole batch of the Muji pens here. Might just pull a Muji pen refill out, since those are Uniballs, and use one of those for the black-blue, not blue-black, black-blue G10 with that awesome grain in there. So guys, let me know down below which you've kept in the pilot refill, but once I heard on the live stream about this first batch that you could modify a G2 and get it fit, well, look what I just did. Modified a Uniball. Now it is right down. You've only got maybe 3 millimeters of like air gap from the hole in the top of the refill to where the gel starts. So that it truly is as short as you can cut it without running into issues. So let me know what you think down below. What do you think about the new switch click here? Really cool, fun fidget toy mechanism here. They had to make that out of, I believe, bronze, because they tried titanium and it was just wasn't smooth. It was gritty. Really do appreciate that attention to detail. Let me know down below if that's the same for you. See you in the next one. Peace.